call this meeting to order. I'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, there's only one change to the agenda. We'll be under 8A and B. We are switching those two around. And then we're gonna put the informational items after 8B before we go into a closed session. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So, second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Open forum, if anybody would like to say anything. All right. Approval of the minutes, approval of the bills and purchase orders. There's approval of the investments. D, there's a resolution number 2026-31 from Janice Meyer, state of $1,000 for the Melrose Fire Department. Donation resolution 2026-32 from One Closet to Another Thrift for $66.96 to the Melrose Fire Department. Donation resolution 2026-33 from the Greenwald Lions of $2,500 for the Melrose Fire Department for new pagers. Can I get a motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. It is 6:03. We have a public hearing. BZ Mart Midwest Inc., Minnesota C-Store Incorporated, DBA MN C-Store, off-sale 3-2, malt liquor license application.
There was an affidavit of posting in the Star Post. It was submitted on the 26th of June for this meeting, and it was ran in the July 1st publication in the postings here.
Okay. So there was background checks and everything looked good, right? All right. At this time, if anybody would like to comment, this would be the time. Nobody's here. So we will take action in the action items. So it is 6:04. Go on to reports, police department report.
June 2026 traffic area, we had 36 citations for the month, 78 verbal warnings, 1 written warning. June of 26, 320 calls requests for service, and last year was 242. We ended on ICR 1835, and last year was 1644, so we're about 191 calls overall ahead of last year. 24 agency assists, we were seeing that number in the mid to low teens, so that's a little bit higher. We've been helping out the sheriff's office as well as I-94 with the construction zone. We've had some issues with minor fender benders or slowdowns and whatever else, so helping out there. Area for the public, Night to Unite will be August 5th, which is a Wednesday. We work with the farmers market on that same night since it's such a well-attended event. We just figured why not work with them as we've done in the past and go from there. Public safety vehicles will be on scene. There's plenty of other things out there going on as well, and those are being posted on social media to see what's going on. 2 officers are still in training. August, September-ish is when we're expecting them to be on their own, and things are going really well. Talked with the officers doing the training, and they're catching on and learning the ins and outs of Melrose, so it's good to see. Any questions?
What ordinances were you enforcing? There was quite a few ordinance
Yes.
citations.
So those were related to vehicles with expired tabs and or that had no plates on them, or furniture in the yard, debris, tires, those sorts of things. I think there was 45 violations overall this year, give or take, 45 to 50. I issued about 13 citations. Of those 13, when they hit their mailbox, there was phone calls saying, if I get it resolved by this date, when is it can I throw it away? Which is the expectation. But they have until August 19th to either request a hearing or pay the citation. I would believe we'll be down to almost zero by that date, because $750 per violation is not a treat by any means, so.
Thank you.
License tabs are pretty cheap compared to that.
Yeah,
Yet,
very much so.
Well,
For now,
depends on what kind of a car you got.
yeah,
Oh, these are all in that $50 range.
Okay.
yeah,
If you're driving a new Cadillac Escalade, that could be.
yeah. All right, Community Development Director report, Sheila?
So I've been working on some grant reporting. With successful grant award comes the need to hit some deadlines on some reports on how we're using those funds. I'm happy to report that we have had 14 successful grants totaling over $1.374 million across different segments, including the sidewalk, the Sauk River Park basketball court, Genio redevelopment, and the Deed childcare grant, which was just released. We have small cities pending yet, and I'm waiting, and right now I'm writing a second redevelopment application for the Genio parking lot. We have an agenda item tonight from Planning and Zoning. As of the midpoint of 2026, we have issued 115 building permits with valuation of over $9.6 million. A large portion of that is the Roach project. Over 51 permits alone have been issued for that project because of the need for the building, the mechanical, the plumbing, and all the things. And this morning, the community room came across because they're building a community room on the property. In regards to Park and Rec, the Streets Parks Department worked this week on the new playground over by Railroad West. So we want to thank them for doing that. And of particular note, Riverfest was fun this year because every playground, every ball field, every court, basketball, and pickleball was all filled during the event, which was really kind of a neat thing to see down in the park. The city of Melrose now owns the former location of Genio in downtown Melrose. Work continues on that redevelopment, including a demolition bid process, talking to and putting agreements in place. And at the first budget retreat, staff discussed the streets and infrastructure projects surrounding that site. I expect there's going to be several agenda items in both August and September as we move forward on that project. And I know Craig mentioned Night to Unite. I also want to put a plug in for the fire department and the Parks and Recs board on the splash pad. So much fun last week when the fire department was spraying and all the kids were screaming and running underneath. We've got another one planned for Thursday, August 6th. Hopefully we have another good hot night.
Say, question with the playground equipment up there, who funded that one? Is that,
It's in Parks budget for this year.
it's in our parks, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
And is anybody gonna give a report for the engineer?
Yeah, I have a synopsis. So Dave Blumel submitted a report. Paving is pretty much done for the projects within the city for this year. There's gonna be some touch-up things here and there to take care of and keep an eye on. Seal coating was happening this week. They'll be back either the end of the week here or next week to do their sweeping to pick up the extras that's still kind of hanging out there. And then sidewalks were, bid opening was this last week, or I think it was last week. But that'll be later in your agenda to review and considerations related to those, so.
All right. And then, point of contact report, chief?
Yeah, on the utilities side, I'd mentioned this at the last meeting, or it was coming up, June 30th, the electric department did some generation, which was a scheduled thing, worked really well for them. Thankfully, they've been keeping up on getting that figured out or working on it. They also had to do some call yesterday for generation between 4 and 8 p.m. Things went pretty well. They have a switch that seems to be kicking open for some reason, and Seth was gonna work on that to get that ironed out. Water wastewater is continuing to work on the blower building and pumps with the engineers, so that'll be coming in the next, I'd say month or so for the PUC to look at and figure out. Talked with them at their meeting about when they want to do their budget meeting, talking about August 10th after their regular meeting to work through that. They received the market study info much like you guys had. Their request was to send it ad hoc for review before any usage of that in the future. There's some approvals for water wastewater, do some slip lining, which has been a yearly thing for quite some time. They're gonna have some roof work done on the office area of the building over there. Roof 1 got that contract, or got awarded that one. And then the electric department had a bunch of poles that failed or deficient, so they ordered in, or are going to be ordering in a bunch to replace the ones that are no good and have a few extra on hand, so. That was on the utility side. On the city side of things, Becky Schweeder started this week, admin assistant building permit tech, so she's learning the ropes with all that. been a good addition to the front part of the building here. Tom Buddy will be starting on Monday in the city administrator role. Question then for, well, we had a staff meeting related to the budget on July 1st and working through what the staff believes should be prioritized as far as projects and capital purchases for the next 5 to 10 years. And then related to that, would you or do you want to set a budget meeting for your, prior to your August 20th meeting, after it, have a completely separate date? In general, I believe it's been before, roughly 4:30-ish, give or take, but if you feel there's more items that maybe need to be reviewed, maybe it is better to have it earlier or a separate day, or just kind of looking so that we can get things prepared for you.
We have to have the preliminary done by September, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if we need to look at doing it sooner, otherwise whatever, what does council think?
Sooner would be better, but 5 o'clock would be better than 4:30 for me.
You know, we could always push the council meeting back to 6:30. I mean, you can say it's at 6, but it doesn't have to start at 6. You can start at 6:30, right? So if
We
you
could do
run
that.
over, as long as you post, you don't
Yes.
start it before you post it.
That is
Correct.
correct.
So
It's a good idea.
5 would be fine, right?
We give you a little extra time if we need.
Yeah.
So 5 PM, August 20th for now, and then council meeting to follow,
Do we usually have department heads come to those?
usually, yeah.
At least for sure the first one,
Right.
to go over the
Yep.
whole
The
capital
ideas or
plan.
Needs and
and
wants.
Yep.
everything. Yeah, okay.
So we'll make sure that the staff is aware of that one too. We'll make sure Mr. Blum will be able to make that. And then as well as the market study that was brought up to the PUC, is that something that the council, you did receive it, you want that to go to ad hoc? Do you want to have separate meetings on that, or what is your intentions?
I think ad hoc would be.
Good place to start,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right,
probably, yeah.
leave it at that. An area of note, candidate filings for open positions opened on the 14th and is open till the 28th, up to 5 PM. $2 fee if you wish to file for a position. The mayor's positions open are expiring this year, as well as 2 council seats. So if the public has interest, those are available. And then next area would be is, do you want to set an end date for the memorandum of understanding that I have in for the point of contact role? Or do you want to play that by ear?
When do you feel Tom will be, I would give it a little bit of time and let it mature. Wait till he gets his feet underneath him, and then,
And I'm open to, if it's not even something that you guys have to make a formal decision on, maybe, that if it's a August whatever else, and Tom's like, hey, I can call you downstairs anytime, I'm completely in agreement with it. I just want to make sure that whenever you feel that the overlap should stop.
Should we
I'm
put a
fine
month
with
on it? Just, month, and if I need to come back to the council for more, go to at least like a day past the next council meeting.
seems reasonable.
August 21st?
So if we need to extend it, then, we're still there for it.
Yeah, just call Jill.
And then is the understanding with that is,
Like,
the understanding with that as well then is that HR payroll, they're under a similar MOU for city administrator related stuff, as well as in helping a good amount with the city clerk position. Is that the understanding with that one as well?
Yeah, I don't know, you start thinking about this, like, well, now all the staff should just be back to, it should be pretty quick where the new city administrator, Tom, can just go to the city staff member that, when he has a
Yeah.
question, and,
Okay.
I
right?
thought it was more just for you, I
Kind of.
think, with Doris, that's, I
Yeah.
think it's easy enough for you to probably visit with her, and if you feel we need to do something, let us know.
When-
Don't you think?
yeah,
If-
we're,
if-
council's always available too, if you,
Do you feel that the intent then should be the end of next week, or starting on Tom's initial day? What do you feel should be an end date for that? It's a
maybe,
payroll thing,
yeah.
is really what it is.
Yeah, I would say just at least give it a week, so,
Okay.
they can turn everything over to you, and you can, if you need to stay with you for a little while. If it takes extra time, and it takes away from their work yet, which it probably will.
So let's figure July 24th for that one then. Okay. I think
you
that's,
can just put your phone on auto forward.
yeah, there you go. I think that's everything in the point of contact report, and I think that's got the questions answered.
All right, we're on the action items. BZ Mart, Midwest Inc., Minnesota, C-Store Incorporated, DBA and C-Store Off Sale 3-2 malt liquor license application. Do we have any concerns? Can I get a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion's carried. And then it's for the same company for a tobacco license application. And again, all the background checks and everything has been done. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Resolution appointing election judges, number 2026-34. Is there anything extra to say on that? We've been doing this now, this is for the primary election, which is in August, right?
Correct.
So, can I get a motion to approve?
Is it a volunteer position, or how do they get,
No, it's paid, they gotta go through training, there's a lot to it,
okay.
so. Yeah. We all good?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, for a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. REZ 06-26-301, rezone parcel number 66.36401.0000. Okay, and then the CUP, let's see, 06-2026-402, conditional use permit Stearns Electric.
Yes, as promised, these are coming to you from the Planning and Zoning Commission, who acted as the Board of Adjustment and Appeals and held a public hearing at 6 p.m. on Monday, June 29th, to give consideration to the rezoning request for the parcel. The property is currently zoned as industrial. The request is to rezone it as C2 Commercial Highway. This property is located between I-94 and Craft Drive. So if you look at the parcel, Burger King, Pat and Shad, really everything out there except for Proliant and Land O'Lakes is C2. And so we felt C2 was appropriate, it kind of fits. Stearns Electric does, this parcel encompasses both their new and old headquarters. They have not split the parcel, they haven't divided the parcel, so both buildings are on it. You know, it's a lot of office use, so C2 seemed to be a good option. The conditional use permit relates to the operation of a child care center in the building at 900 Craft Drive Southeast. We have given each of the buildings separate addresses, even though they're on a single parcel, and that's mainly for emergency response. So if there's an emergency at one building or the other, we can differentiate between the two. Did the same thing with the church property. The rectory has a separate address from the church, so if an emergency gets called in, we know where to go. We've done that before. So the planning report, as accepted by the Planning and Zoning Commission, was in your packet. You'll note that there were several conditions that they suggested placing on the conditional use permit. One is that if Stearns Electric finds someone to rent the east half, which are those truck areas, and it's not conducive to a child care center, that they separate the two driveways. Because right now it's a ring road and it circles around. But if necessary in the future, it's deemed appropriate, the one driveway has to be dedicated to the child care center and the other one to the trucks, leaving that condition open. At all times, the space must be licensed and enrollment limited based on the building size and site capacity. Screening would be required if necessary for licensure, as would fencing. Also, loading and unloading zones for children to make sure they do not need to cross traffic, or if they do, that it's done safely, and that the area it would be lit for safety, because the child care center is going to be opening at times of, you know, when it's pretty dark out, and so we want to make sure that it's well lit for the children during drop-off. Parking must be located separately from an outdoor play area. A lot of these conditions are built into our zoning ordinance concerning childcares. So they didn't make these up, they just moved them forward to the appropriate zoning district. And then the conditions of the CUP would be enforceable to any child care center in that building on the parcel. So if Mary Moose would decide to go and someone else comes in, all the same criteria would still fall within whatever child care center is there. And so those were the conditions that were recommended from the Planning and Zoning Commission. So we would have two action items tonight. One is to consider the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission and determine whether to approve or deny the rezoning request. And the other is to consider the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission and determine whether to approve or deny the child care center in the building at 900 Craft Drive.
All right, can I get approval of the first action item?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. And then for the second resolution,
So moved.
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. Then resolution approving redevelopment grant application, committing local match funds and authorizing contract signature number 2026-35.
Yes, so as I mentioned during my report, I'm working on a redevelopment grant application for the east side of Fifth Avenue. When we had applied for the grant with deed previously, they awarded us $669,700 with the kind of caveat that it be spent on the west side, and they invited a second application on our part to deal with the east side, which is the parking lot. And so the second grant application will be for the east side. But accompanying the grant application has to be a resolution from the council approving the application.
All right,
So moved.
Second?
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion is carried. All right, 2026 street improvement pay application number 1.
Yes, so Dave Blummel submitted a pay application for from SEH for contractor Joe Riley Construction, who did the 2026 street improvements. Pay application recommends payment of $205,917.74 to Joe Riley for work completed. There is a retention of 5% on that in the event there's anything that comes up as well. That's not listed in the action item.
All right, can I get a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carried. And now we're on to Main Street sidewalk project.
Yeah, so bids were opened on July 8th for the Main Street Sidewalk Project. 4 bids were received ranging from $333,777 to $648,971. Low bidder was Capital Paving of Clearwater with a bid of $333,777. Mr. Blummel with SEH has reviewed the bids and all 3 options for the council to consider. So, number 1, you could award the project to Capital Paving for the $333,000 and change and utilize the reserve funds or another available funding source to cover the budget shortfall. In the 2026 improvement project is currently anticipated to finish approximately $100,000 under budget. However, those available funds would not fully offset that funding gap. The second option would be to reject all bids and rebid the project in 2027 construction season as a standalone project, allowing sufficient funds to be budgeted in our 2027 budget, or reject all bids and incorporate the sidewalk improvement into a planned 2027 street improvement project with the necessary budget amendments and financing adjustments. More information should be in your packet if you want to review it or have more information for it.
So I think, reading, sorry, I don't know, I'll jump in there, but.
Yeah, just looking for some guidance as far as which
Yeah.
way the council wishes to move.
So, as they say in here, I think Dave put this out for us, but while there's always a possibility that construction costs could increase in the future bidding cycle, current market conditions and the timing of the bid suggest the risk of substantially higher bids in 27 appears limited. I think it's, like, I think somebody referred to earlier, it's midsummer, everybody got their work done, or work already, it's all set. Nobody really wants this project right now, so it's really high. So I don't think we risk a higher bid next year. I think if we bid it earlier, like even midwinter, give or take, get it out there, somebody will pick it up as one of their projects. Maybe cheaper, quite a bit cheaper probably. I don't know how the engineer can get it, how the estimate could be that far off. I mean, they have projects like this all the time. It should have been almost twice the estimate, right?
Yeah, so it was like
The estimate's that-
220, wasn't it?
That was like 187 or something to that effect, but anyway, I don't know, I would be all for just delaying it. It's not like we got big potholes in the sidewalks. I mean, there's some dips and little bridges and stuff, but
Well, I know, Sheila, you're walking that quite a bit.
The street department last year filled in the gaps
and the Yeah.
holes that were really critical last year, and I think we talked about the fact that we might have to go out and do a little more filling, to get us through another winter. And I believe the engineer's estimate was surpassed because there's some ADA compliance issues on
I know that was part of it, but I also, yeah, and I know everything's holding up so far, but I don't remember what the ADA, if it was separated out with the ADA, if that's gonna make a difference for next year or not. I'm not sure what to say, I mean,
I'm a little torn too. Part of me just wants to get it done with and have it over. And if we have the funds to do it, I mean, the wild swing in estimates just seems crazy, like one's 600,000 and one's 300,000. Like why such a huge discrepancy between the high and the low bid?
I think because it was bid at a
Like
bad time.
double? I mean,
well, when did we, does anybody know when he put this out for bids? Did he put it out in May, or did he put it out in
June.
March?
In June, yeah, I was
It
gonna
was
say in
mid to
June he
late
did,
June.
yeah.
I thought we did this to go out last winter already.
I'd wait.
Yeah, well,
so if we go back to these people next winter, you think the labor costs and the material costs are actually gonna go down?
look, this is, everybody's busy already. They have all their projects set for
Yes.
the year.
Yeah, like they don't
want
want
the
it.
project.
They don't
So,
want the
but
project.
for the right price, they'll take it. I mean, they can bid whatever they want. That's why the big
Yeah.
wild swings and stuff.
Yeah, and
You
you
know,
know, once you
'cause-
start getting fall, everybody's, you know,
'Cause-
everything's getting impacted with trying to get stuff shelled
Yeah.
up before winter
And
and,
then they gotta sublet it, hire subcontractors, to get
Right,
coordinate with whole, you know, they're busy. It's construction season, so,
and this one time, I do agree with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
this
I-
one time.
This one time.
Well, this one time where we, no, and I mean that in a positive way, because it's,
Carol will document that in paper, right?
no, I agree that to me, it's hard. I don't know if we're gonna do better, but I just, that's a lot for, you know, such a
Probably
big swing
put
in
it
there.
out like in January.
I think so, that it'd be the first,
Like
Have it
wait
first
till
thing
after
in-
the first of the year, but then, while there's snow on the ground.
Right.
I would think, should we send this back to Dave and ask him if he can check with them, if bidding it for first thing in the, you know, spring when everything's done would be a better time? If he says there's just no way? Cause these are good for usually 60, 90 days, these pricing. So
Yeah,
if he comes back and says, no, this is about as cheap as you're gonna get it, should we have it brought back to the council next month? Otherwise, if he thinks we can do better,
we could bring it back up next month. The other thing, obviously, we have to decide what piggy bank to pull the money out of. I mean, do we just pull it out of, transfer more additional street funds, because we don't have it in the budget this year. Right? So,
Not for the full amount, no.
right,
so,
something to talk about at a budget meeting.
And that was some of the
Also-
conversation at bid opening was, is it because it's a late season, late bid, that's why the numbers are there? It'll be a beautiful new set of trucks for the fleet, or it'll be, well, we'll get to it and it'll be a nice cash cow for the end of the year? Or is it just better to then make that decision to push it to next year?
Yeah.
And, potentially similar numbers or same numbers, but then it's fresh, it's new, as opposed to being rushed to get it in before frost and snow falls.
so would it
too.
be a good thing to table it, get more advice from Dave? Are we okay with that?
Certainly can, or we
Yeah.
can just say, make a decision and say, well, we'll just delay it till next year. You know, it's,
I'm all right with delaying it till next year. If
Yeah.
we delay it till next year, we can actually work into the budget if it's really gonna be that much money. And if we comes in under that, we'll have extra money in the budget.
Okay, then, yeah, let's just, then we will just let it go.
And so what we'll do, direction towards Dave, is that we're gonna reject all the bids at this point, and then there'll be discussion on whether it becomes part of the 2027 separate street-related thing, and it's incorporated with that, or if it's just gonna be a separate project altogether in 27, and that might be a good discussion at the budget meetings.
Yeah.
What's on the list for 27 for road projects, and what is just an option to put this as a separate.
So what would you propose to put in the budget? Would you put the low bid, or would you do a little over that in case there is some inflation in there?
we can get Dave's opinion on that.
Yeah, he'll be available for the budget
Yeah.
meeting, so.
Sure.
I agree.
But yeah, probably the minimum bid.
So that would be the decision,
Just table it then,
yeah, table it with,
with rejection.
All right, we're on to new business. We're gonna go to B. We have a resignation tonight. Jolene has decided that she needs to get off because she sold her house.
Yes.
Well, it's been a good time this last 4 years. Glad you've been here. A lot of great ideas, and thank you for what you do for also with the chamber. So
Thank you.
definitely going to be missed. And you have our phone numbers when you need chamber help and stuff. So
Sounds good.
Yeah, look forward to what you're gonna do, and still see you around the community every day. So
Yeah, thank
so,
you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
And then I just want to mention the information items. Next city council meeting will be Thursday, August
We
20th.
have to go to A.
Yeah.
I know, we're gonna go to
Oh.
that, but I just want to make sure for the record, so it'll be August 20th. And then there was a letter of resignation for one of our part-time police officers.
So related to Ms. Wheeling's resignation, though, we have to
Oh, yeah.
make some decisions, or at least maybe some guidance related to the position as well. So, the letter was received effective that, today is the last day of service for her. Council must pass resolution, provided, there's a resolution provided 2026-36 resolution accepting resignation and declaring a vacancy. So once that's accepted, her term is up at the end of this year. So there can be, there's no need for a special election or any of those sorts of things under Minnesota statutes. But the council can decide to either leave the seat vacant, and they could have the election take place. You know, people submit their candidacy and those sorts of things, and that person potentially gets, fills that position. Or the council could appoint any individual they choose to that office. Generally, you have to be, person must be a U.S. citizen, resident of the city, obviously, entitled to vote in any election, at least 21 years of age, and person can be appointed to serve the remainder of the unexpired term, so roughly from now until the end of December. Jolene would not be able to vote on this action. Council to provide consideration to a course of action to take following Ms. Wheeling's resignation.
I would think we should probably have something just because of budget cycle, in case we have questions or concerns in voting. We just can't have a tie, just in case if there's a tie, that's not good for us either.
When is the filing deadline for offices? August?
28th at 5 p.m.
Okay.
I know when I
Could-
took over for Bunker, I came in right at the end of when you guys were already doing budgets, so it'd be nice if someone
Yeah.
could be
I was-
appointed.
I was just thinking if there's two people that sign up for running and only two,
Maybe
that might be the
Carol-
person to,
Yeah, Carol could do it.
Carol, do it.
Carol could do it.
Sure, anyway.
You're here anyway.
Yeah. No, I
Otherwise, what's been done in some other areas too is that it's kind of an application process, that if you have interest, you could very well file as a candidate, but if you wanted to be appointed prior to the election going through, an application can be go through, and the council could appoint somebody in that position prior to
Right.
an actual election system.
I think we could probably appoint someone at the next council meeting, don't you think?
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly
We'll
if
know
we have it.
we'll know who's running at that time, so.
Yeah.
And if there's three people, that'd be a problem. If there's two people running, well, you know who's gonna be here, so that would obviously be the pick. Because it wouldn't make sense to appoint somebody that is gonna be done in 3 months.
Well,
I would hope if you appoint them and they accept, they have interest.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, you would think so.
yeah,
You'd hope
if
so.
they're running, and, if we pick wrong and the citizens pick somebody better, that's just the way it goes. That's how an election works. So I would think at the next one, we should probably appoint somebody.
Would you like some sort of application process related to that then?
Probably.
It wouldn't hurt, yeah. They can at least vet them and make sure they're, residents of the city and
Right,
some of the basic check
Yeah.
boxes.
okay.
And I think, if anybody files, that would be your priority, right?
Yeah, see if they actually sign up to pay the big $2 and
Yep.
Well, sometimes people pay for it for you.
So the council to provide consideration to approving resolution number 2026-36, resolution accepting resignation, declaring a vacancy for city council member Jolene Wheeling. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
And Jolene abstained, correct?
I should have said nay.
We
Yep.
should've-
Oh, you should have all said nay.
Now, what happens if we reject it?
I don't know. Don't think that ever happens. All right, so we are going on to, new business A. It's, interest in Melrose I-94 Industrial Park lot. It's gonna be a closed meeting. So, it's, 6:36. Can I get a motion to, close the meeting and then have everybody that doesn't need to be part of it leave?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried, and we'll just hold on for a few members.